Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm doing an off the board project with Pineapple Papers, which is Crystal Barrett, on YouTube and her socials. This is the sketch I've chosen for Miyuki Kowakami. Oh my goodness, she makes the most amazing sketches, and what she does with them is unbelievable. This is my layout, and I am playing on Sunday, where Crystal has said that it is a sketch for the off the board. So I'm a little bit behind in posting, but that's okay. I did create this on the Sunday. It is for my daughter's birthday party. Well, it's not really a party, it's just a family get together, and we celebrated her 26th this year. So I'm using these photos and these amazing Australian Alice and Ellis papers. They are an older paper, but as you can see, the design is amazing, and they are Australian. And she has got lots of ranges in this, and I don't know that she's still producing, but I have got a stash. So I've decided to pull them all together and use them to create this layout. Now, it is a double, which is unusual for me. I don't always do doubles, but I am for this one. And I'm going to stretch the paper so that the paper fits on both pages and it ties together, following that sketch which Miyuki has created. And as I said, if you have never seen her transform one of her sketches into a layout, you really need to go check her out. You can find her in scrapbook.com in the gallery. She is just amazing and inspirational. So what I'm doing first of all is I'm preparing all my papers, and I'm just cutting them down to the sizes that I'm going to need based roughly on what I see in the sketch. Now, I have no measurements, I'm just doing them roughly. You will see as I go through this process that I stop and think about how it's going to go based on the sketch. I do make a couple of false cuts, but that's okay. I fix that up because of the paper design, which is quite easy. And it is a layered layout, which makes for easy transition across the page with the paper. And as you can see, I have stretched it across the double by using just one sheet, and it now looks like I've used two sheets across the page as my base. I'm now going to slowly build this across, as you can see, and when it all comes together, the whole double looks like I've stretched, or I've had two of each of the pages. So it's just a matter of playing with the paper, just being brave enough to go, you know what, near enough is close enough. I am using the sketch as my inspiration. I don't have to be exact, but I am going to copy pretty close. Now, as I looked at this as I was developing it, I realised that perhaps I should have used the stripes sideways somewhere along the line to change up the continuity in the pattern. But it's okay. In the end, it worked out fine. As you can see there, I was a little bit short, so I've just taken a strip from that other paper that was there and put it in behind, and it all blends nicely in, and you wouldn't know that it was short to look at. So there you go. As I've stretched it across both sides, you can see that the papers come together. Now, to break up all that pink and dark colours in it, I've added the white, and I like to butt my papers so that they look like they belong in the paper. They're blended in, not just sitting on top. So this is what the strips from the flower strip paper I have used to create the visual effect that I'm running like a border across the page that ties it together. So these could stand alone as individual pages, or they go together and they're complementary doubles. So that's why I like the style that Miyuki does, because you can have individual or doubles depending how you place them in your album or what you want to do with the layouts. So I am popping up this middle one just to give it a bit of dimension and a bit of lift from that base. And I have framed the photos in white to tone down the page. That's important when you have a very busy page, to look at the toning down. So using these chipboard pieces that I got from Scrapbook Fantasies, and I'll have that listed down below in the comments, I am using different distress inks and sprays to build the colour that I need for my layout. Across the bottom here, this is something that I've added to the sketch. I've added in a banner. I just thought it was a lot of empty space down the bottom there, and so to create a continuity between the photos, I have added the banner, so it's the blowing of the candles, so the continuity there. I'm using the fussy cut flowers to build the clusters, and by tying them in with the colours, it balances out with the 3 different styles of flowers. And you can see that the top cluster there has the dark scented flowers, and the lighter daisy one is the connector. And on the left hand page I have the open scented flowers, so there you can see it sweeps across the page, and as I said, they can stand alone or they can be together as a double. So these are my 3 clusters only. It is simple. My daughter here in this photo, her birthday, she's not a girly girl. Pink would not be her choice of colour, I would say. However, I have put it together and it's come together nicely. She is more of a outdoorsy girl. She's my animal lover. She deals with animals. She'd rather get her hands dirty than stay as a princess. All of my kids plus my son-in-law is in the photo. It's rare that I manage to get all of them in one photo these days. Birthdays are pretty much it, which is sad. It's the only time I can guarantee that I've got them together. So I'm just deciding where I'm going to put the actual age of her, whether I want it next to there, or in the end I decide to bring it over to the other page. So like I said, they can stand alone. It is a really bright page, so I'm going to tone it down with some paint splatters, which as I'm doing you can't see, but when they dry you will see them. I've used a pale goldy colour, white. It's got a bit of a white tinge pearl, and it's a watercolour that I'm splattering across the layout. I really need to get better at doing my splatters before I lay down my photos. I always forget to do that, and then I end up with little splatters on the photos, which isn't too bad, but not ideal. So I'm just adding in my Nuvo dots and pops of colour. I'm going to flatten the pops of colour so that I get that enameler dot effect. Some people like Nuvo, some people don't. I always go to them. They're my go-to. I love them. I love that I can either leave them solid to give like a Brad effect, or I can flatten them out to give an enamel dot effect. So spreading my stash using what I've got and creating different effects on the layout is the idea. It's about using what you have and adapting. And for many, many years, that's what I had to do. I had to really, really reduce my expenditure, and so I extended my stash through lots and lots of different ways. Now it's a habit and I just do it. I am just adding in the date for her birthday. I put in her name. I don't need to put any more journaling. The photos tell the story. And there I have my double. So unfortunately my workspace isn't big enough to run the double for you as a full showing. You can see the splatters there. At the end I will have stills where you can have a look at and see the double come together in full. You can see my cluster there where I've got some die cuts added to those fussy cut flowers. I have my chipboard there. I have put in a whole range of papers using single papers but stretch them for the double, and that's the idea to using up your stash, making sure you get them into the albums. That's the priority. And as you can see, this is a multi-photo layout, which I'm pretty impressed that I got so many photos onto a layout. And there you see the final product as the double layout. That's the left-hand side of the page and the right-hand side of the page. And as I said, they can both stand alone. You can see the clusters here with the splatters better. Those pops of colour turn into enamel dots. This cluster here with the fussy cutting from that white paper, and the banner that I've tied in with the stripes going the opposite direction to give the contrast. I have used different distress inks to colour my chipboard. And thanks for looking. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and a like. It lets YouTube know that my content is hitting the mark. Thanks to those who have already subscribed, and if you haven't, just hit that button. It costs you nothing. Leave me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can find me on all my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap. This was a great off-the-board project. Instagram has all my layouts. Thanks for scrapping with me. Happy scrapping. See you next time.